Hi, everybody. In this video, we are going to go over how to find class boundaries. So I'm going to go ahead and flip my screen around. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So the steps for creating class boundaries are actually pretty simple if you watch somebody do it one time, and it's pretty easy to recreate it after that. So the first step is that you're going to subtract the first upper class limit from the second lower class limit. All right, so let me tell you what that means, or maybe just point out what I'm talking about here. All right, so the first upper class limit, that's going to be our first class and its upper limit, okay? The second part says the second lower class limit. All right, the second lower class limit. All right, so here's our second class. Here's its lower limit. All right, so what step one just told us to do, it said subtract 11 from 12. All right, so take and subtract 11 from 12, that's 1. Divide that difference by 2. All right, so take the difference, that's this number here, and divide it by 2. 1/2. Of course, that's just, whoop, close one. 1 over 2 is 0.5. I about put 0.05. All right, and then your last step is just to subtract this value from all the lower class limits and add the value to all the upper class limits to get your class boundary. So, for example, let me see if I can move all of this way. Perfect. All right, so if I'm making my little class boundaries, we'll call that CB for class boundaries. All right, so my lower class boundary here, I would take 3 and subtract 0.5. So that's going to be 2.5. My upper class boundary, I'm going to take my upper class boundary and add 0.5. Right, and that just kind of gives you a boundary for that particular class. So I'm not going to let anything in this class go under 2.5. I'm not going to let anything in this class go over 11.5. All right, then you're going to do the same thing for each of the following classes. All right, so for the second class, for the lower class limit, you're going to do 12 minus 0.5, so 11.5. You'll notice that it matches the upper class limit of the previous class. All right, then our upper class limit plus 0.5, so that's 20.5. All right, and then you'll do the same thing for each of the classes. So lower class limit for our third class is going to be 20.5. Upper class boundary, 29.5. For the fourth class, lower class boundary, subtract 0.5, so that's 29.5. For the upper class boundary, you're going to take your upper class limit, add 0.5. And then for the last one, we get 38.5 for our lower class boundary, 47.5 for our upper class boundary. All right, so I hope that helps clear up any questions about creating class boundaries or determining class boundaries. And if you have any additional questions, you can email me at jberry@ccga.edu.